Understanding the Aperty to Luminar Neo editing flow is our topic today on Luminar Coffee Break. Now, this is a very special edition. It may take a little longer than 15 minutes or less, and it begins now. Hello, everyone, and welcome. So I'm really excited because for the longest time, my Luminar insiders, which they're here live watching all this, have been motivating me to do lots of landscape photography. And as a sports and portrait photographer, you know how much I love portraits. The wait is over. Skylum introduced our newest high-end portrait editing tool. It's called Aperty, and that's what I want to show you today, is when to use Aperty and when to use Luminar Neo. Right? Because Luminar Neo has some amazing portrait tools in them, but nothing like Aperty. So let me dive right in and show you. So here we are with my beloved goddaughter, Erica. Now, ready for this? Here's before and after. Here's before. Here's after. Now let's review what we're going to be able to do with this. Now, if Erica were here, she would absolutely love and adore this because we didn't have a makeup artist on set. And yeah, she has blemishes at the time. I forgot what year this was. She must have been like 18. So yeah, she had blemishes. If we had a makeup artist on set, they would clear all that stuff up. However, we didn't. So she absolutely loves what we did or what we'd be doing with this. So let me show you some of the tools first. Over here, you're used to the essential tools. You've seen this in Luminar Neo. I got to tell you though, this noise reduction, I do want to confirm with our team, because that noise reduction works an awful lot like, in my opinion, noiseless AI in Luminar Neo. It's absolutely amazing. I was able to take an old photo that I photographed at nighttime, a portrait with one light, 400 ISO with the Nikon D300. So 400 ISO doesn't seem like a lot nowadays. Back then it was horrible. Noise reduction did a phenomenal job on that. So the essential tools, you're already used to those, all right? And of course you have the typical cropping and so on. But here are the retouching tools, which you're actually going to fall in love with. Look at this. So the people's tool, I can select all, individuals, female, male, teen, children, elderly. So when is that useful? Well, imagine if Erica and I did a photo shoot together. We have Beauty and the Beast. Well, for her, we definitely want the skin softening. I do want to apply all the really cool effects, the blemish removal and all that on her skin. But I don't want to apply that same effect on my skin. Using AI, it finds the faces in the image, and then I can apply them either all together, which you can see all right here, or I can do it independently and say, okay, only on the males do I want to apply less skin softening than I do on the females. So it opens up not just incredible tools for portrait for single people, but also for group photos, all right? So, of course, we have the typical blemish removal, and look at this. Again, before, after, and then from here, look at the face skin. This right here, I could smooth it, add my detail, but here's something new, face skin color correction. There are some times, even when you're dealing with a makeup artist, the face looks great, but they feather down the neck a little bit, and then the body, forget it. It just, you could definitely tell there's makeup applied. This is where the face matches the skin tones and the color correction. Soon, we do have the full body to where it'll match the entire makeup all the way through. So that's that end. Now we've already seen the face brightening and then the shine removal. So here, look at this. I can come in and just like in Luminar Neo, it uses AI to analyze the image, find the image using AI, and then, of course, apply what we just did. Now, why is this so incredible? Well, because we've said this for the longest time. The old way of editing is outdated. If I have to manually mask that face, well, then I can't batch process. This still keeps us the high-end portrait retouching with our philosophy that, again, the old way of editing is outdated, and it helps us from there. All right? So that's right here with the skin. Eyes, here's a little trick I love to apply. Now, here's the original eyes. So Erica has beautiful, dark chocolate eyes. It's phenomenal in real life, but when you're photographing it, it's like the light absorbs so much of it that look how the eyes are just, they're there. Now they're still beautiful, but I want to make it a little bit different. That's where I'm going to change it. And I like using the color of the person, the color of the eyes, the original eyes, and look what that does for us. All right. So the mouth, of course, is where I can do teeth whitening or teeth brightening difference. Here's the new feature you're going to love. This is the makeup section. Notice on her cheeks, all right? On her cheeks, I did apply a little blush to it to where if the makeup artist were there, I'd have her do it, just accent the cheekbones. Now, I am going to preface this with, I'm not a makeup artist. And the majority of you photographers, I'm sure, are not a makeup artist. What I would recommend is have a makeup artist sit in with you on some of your shoots and ask them, well, what would you do to this image? And if they say to you, well, I would apply a little blush here to bring out the cheekbones. Or on the eyes, I would do the eyeliner. I would make sure I would eyeline the lashes just to bring those lashes out. Apply a little mascara on the eyes. Ask them, and you just go through and you start making those changes for them. And when they look at that and say, yep, that's exactly what I want, save it as a preset. And then you can apply it to other images from that point on. So there's the makeup, and I love the fact you could work with the cheekbone or the cheeks, the nose and cheek, so it goes across, much like what a makeup artist would do. All right? And of course, there's the eyeliner. And then eyebrows enhancement. Here's where they put the lips, because I can apply, which I did here with Erica, is I did apply, look at her lips. I did apply a little makeup towards her lip, making it a little bit darker. Let me put that down. Good. So we have that set. Now I'm going to move in to the reshaping tools. So both the reshaping tools and the retouching tools has the people feature in it. So those tools, I can apply what we need to individual peoples and all the way through. Obviously, you don't need to do that with the enhanced tools and the creative tools from there. But here's what's really neat with the people tool. Erica has a beautiful nose. My nose a little bit bigger. If I were in the photo with her, I'd want to adjust my nose differently than I would for her. So here, not only do we have the eyes, look, I could shape the eyes. Look at this. Ooh, that looks pretty cool. I could change the arch of the eyes a little bit. Now, she's going to kill me. Well, if she saw this, I'm going overboard right now just to prove a point. But look, you can even change the eyebrow arch and then the eyebrow distance. So not only, and again, it's taking a little bit second, what it's doing for us right now is, there we go. So what it's doing for us right now is I can take those eyebrows, move them up, move them down, and so on. I'm sorry. I got to get the shape back. That is killing me. But the eyebrow arches, let's say the person looks shocked. Well, I could bring those eyebrows down a little bit. I could curve them in. So there's a slew of things we can do with the distance of the eyebrows. Look at this. Do you see it moving in and moving out? I'll give it a second to render. Now keep in mind, I am running Zoom, Luminar Neo, and vMix. So I just want to make sure it's not going a little bit too slow. But look what it just did. I'm able to take the distance of the eyebrows. Oh, look, that's just creepy. I can move the distance where I want them to be. I'm going to put it back where it normally is. All right, now let's go back to the nose. I can reshape the bridge of the nose, tip of the nose. I could change the X and Y axis. And then, of course, with the mouth, I could change the lip positioning. What if I want to give her more of a pouting look, or narrow the lips down a little bit more? Do you see the difference on what this is doing for us? It's giving us that the ability to wholly transform this image. Now, as I mentioned many a times, yes, they're very powerful tools. But as a retoucher, here's use responsibility or be responsible. If the person's own mother can't recognize them, you've gone too far. So this looks like Erica. And if you met Erica in person, this is her. And that's slightly, well, those eyebrow things are killing me. Let me see if I can get to here. I'll reset those. Yeah, I'll put that back to normal. But do you see how I'm able to actually change the appearance? Now that's better. I could change the appearance overall. That's great if you're dealing with lens distortion, or if the subject says to you, hey, look, I haven't had my eyebrows waxed or groomed in a while. Could you touch them up a bit? Now you have the capabilities of doing that. But like I suggested, I would have a makeup artist the first few times you do this sit with you so you can learn how to apply that, unless most females know how to do that. So you're much farther ahead than us guys are. Then, of course, you can reshape the body. We can reshape the body, and, of course, the abdomen. So those alone are absolutely amazing. The creative tools, that'll be for another. I'm going to use that for another tutorial. But look at what we have for the creative tools. Similar to Luminar Neo with the light control. I can add shadows and just relight this entire scene. Portrait bokeh for outdoor portraits, where I do want to bring that portrait or the bokeh into it. We have it in here. We still have the LUTs, the lookup tables, the film grain, the vignetting, the high key. So those creative tools are extremely similar to Luminar Neo. Now, watch this. If I come up here to the top, masking. Ooh, look at this. Even though this is still, I want to consider like a parametric editor, much like Luminar AI was. You can only apply the tool once. However, with the masking, you're able to apply certain tools to that mask multiple times. So now you have the benefits of layers along with being able to apply the tools. So here's the full image. Well, that background image, what I was able to do right from here, in fact, let me show you right here. I'll turn it off. See if it takes a second to process it. What it's going to do for me, in fact, let me full screen it. Look, so the background's okay, but what I did was I masked it, and made it darker. What that's telling me is next time I do a shoot like this, Finelli, feather the light a little bit more on the subject, or move the subject maybe 3 or 4 feet away from the background so that background falls to black. And by the way, this was shot on a gray background. Now, that's important. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it in Luminar Neo. So again, do you see how neat that is? Is that you can mask the background separately from the subject, so it's using AI to be able to do that for us. All right? Now that we have that, I can mask the person, I can mask the background. If there were a sky in the image, I can mask the sky. Look at all these incredible tools that that our engineers have developed into the system. But here's what's neat as of right now. They looked at the tools, the most essential tools, and they applied them to Aperty. So these are the most essential tools that we need. And what they did, which I think is absolutely amazing, is right here. Look at this. Help. Of course, the user guide, the blonde. Oh, look at that. Provide your feedback. Why is that so cool? No longer do you have to send messages to support asking for features. You could apply your feedback here. So now you have the confidence and the assurance that Aperty will grow alongside your needs. Now, there are a lot of features that I looked at and I absolutely miss. And they said, Vanelli, they're coming. We gave everyone the essential tools first, and then we're going to grow into it. I can't wait to see what our team has in store. Now, my favorite, of course, let's jump into Luminar Neo. There we go. So here is that image. Oh, let me get back to it. That was a little anticlimactic. I wanted to show it to you. I have three, there we go. Right. Here's the virtual copy of it. So what I did was this. I exported the image. So if I right click, show in Explorer. So here's what's really neat is inside Luminar, inside Aperty, I exported it because I want to continue with my edits. I made it a TIFF. TIFF will give me, just like Camera Raw, will give me a wider range to work with. Where did I put it? Back where the image came from, but underscore complete. Now you could put underscore in progress or something. In this case, I was that portrait was done. Parents loved it, but I wanted to do more to it. So that's why I opened up Luminar Neo. And ready for this? We're going to take it, and I'm going to use our good friend Carly Sullins. I'm going to use one of her incredible backgrounds from the Master Collection. I'm going to show you how I did this. All right? Notice the layers. This is so simple. This right here is called the sandwich method. All right? And I'm going to take this one here for now. Let me just hide it. So I got the bottom layer. And this image here, I'll hide that too. There we go. So here's the original image. Just duplicate it. Once I duplicate that image, this shot right here, move it to the top, then add a new layer. And for this, I chose Carly's, the old Master Collection. I chose that image. And get to it. There we go. And I'll just show it now. So I added it here. Well, in fact, let me hide this for a moment just so you can see what I did. So how do I get this image to overlay on top of that gray? Well, that's where our friend, the layer blend modes, come in, and I use soft light, played with the opacity. Now, why the sandwich method? Ready? I mean, this looks good. Don't get me wrong. It still looks good, but it just doesn't look like it's blending correctly. So watch what we're going to do. I'm going to right click. Let me show this again. So there we are, the original image, but this time masking, portrait background. I want to remove it. And now it's punching a hole straight through, and it's going to show me the bottom layer. And what's the bottom layer? Carly's master portrait. There it is. And look how it just ties everything in. Now, I can come in, which I would do, or in this case here, because it's up on top. Let me hide this one. I'll show you this one here. Because it's on top now, right? What I did was I took advantage right here of the vignette tool, and some of the advanced or the vignette tool to darken that top image. Now it looks like I applied it to the mask or the master background and the bottom image. All I really did was sandwiched it. Now, what's really extra special about this, you make it into a preset. Then I can apply this identical look to all the images in the set that I had for Erica. Let's see if I did that. Adjustment, or let's see, go to, let's see if I did it. In fact, you know what? I'm not sure if yep, I did. So here they are. So look what I did. I have all these other images of Erica, and I applied them just to different looks. Look at this. And that was quick. Look how fast. I mean, I was able to do all of that because I used the portrait tools inside Aperty. Got it looking amazing. I am so excited about what we're able to do with high-end portrait retouching, not only very creatively, but fast. And then use Luminar Neo with what you just saw there to complete the look. Now, if I were photographing, let's say, 40 images of different people, what I would do differently with that background, I would take that background and either have it printed and make it a true, like 8 foot by 10 foot or 10 foot by 8 foot master background, so I don't have to do that step. That's very expensive. If you don't have it, we just showed you how you could download Carly her master's backgrounds and apply it to the images, and it's absolutely amazing. All right. Now, I do have a couple of things for you. Because again, this is such a very complicated, it's not complicated, more of a very informative type session. I can only do so much in 15 minutes. I did write an in-depth article for you. So you could check the article there, and my good buddy Dale, who's helping moderate this, if you could put that into the chat for us. That is the editing workflow, and I showed you the top 5 portrait tips that every photographer should know and use on portraits. And if you haven't purchased Aperty yet, click on this. Now those Black Friday deals coming up and a whole bunch of other things happening. Aperty right now, I believe, if you click on that link, because it's still new, I would recommend the lifetime version. And we also have the subscription base, but that's entirely up to you. All right? Well, guys, I hope my excitement was able to shine through this video to tell you why I'm so excited about how Aperty is into our new workflow and how I'm able to use Luminar Neo into that space. Now, we have to ask, is Aperty right for you? If you're a portrait photographer that makes a living, by all means, it's a no-brainer. You buy it. It just costs of doing business. You need to buy it. If you're a photo enthusiast who's a landscape photographer, let's say like a Jim Nix, or a Javi San, who occasionally does portraits, Luminar tools are absolutely amazing. You could use the Luminar portrait tools, but if you really want to take it to that next level, just like what you guys did to me with landscapes, you're going to want to buy Aperty, even if you're a photo enthusiast. So that gives you a way to decide what's best for you. All right? Well, guys, I can't thank you enough for joining me here today. If you're here, please stick around for the Ask Me Anything segment, where we could go further into detail about this and about the article that I've written. And for everyone else, if you're watching this on the rebroadcast or if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you at the next coffee break.